What's up everybody, this is D. Joseph Allen, thanks for tuning in. Real quick, before I begin on the topic of this video, I want to wish everybody a belated Happy New Year and all the best to you and yours. I left for vacation and I was kind of saturated with YouTube, so I just said to hell with it, I'll handle this when I come back, so there you go. This is going to be a quick video response to Veritas 48. I hope I'm not too late on this. I've seen there have been a bunch of video responses. I'm going to address Veritas 48 specifically, although this is a project of Telemantros and Dawa Films as well. So I want to address something that from the video responses that I have seen, I really haven't detected that anybody has argued this point. So what is it that I want to touch on? I want to touch on Veritas's example of the mosquito and the elephant in the room. A lot of people have also touched on this, but not in the way that I think that I'm going to do it here, so I hope I'm contributing something new. Basically, Veritas's argument is that, if we're looking for evidence of an elephant in a room and we look around and we don't see an elephant, well, of course we are warranted in saying there is no elephant. But if we're looking for a mosquito, well, then we're not so justified, because it's probable that we won't see a mosquito at first glance. We would actually need to look further for evidence and make a more profound attempt to find that evidence. And what I'm going to address here, and I think is a problem for Veritas and for the other YouTubers, and especially in this example, is consequences. See, the problem, Veritas, is that when you're speaking about a mosquito in a room, you may look around, you may really try to find it, you may even, as Antidu said, use maybe motion detectors and bug traps, and you may not find it. And if you don't find it, you can simply open the door to the room, walk out and say, there is no mosquito in the room. You may later be found to be mistaken. Somebody might say, aha, but you didn't look here, or you didn't look this way, and you didn't find the mosquito in the room. Well, hoop-de-da. There was actually a mosquito in the room. I was wrong, and well, that's about that. But see, when we're talking about God, the argument that you're making that maybe God doesn't want to be detected, or maybe God has other plans for his creation, doesn't really apply because, as I said, of consequences. The consequence for not finding a mosquito in the room is having to accept that you were wrong. The consequence for not believing in God is eternal torture. So, at least, from the perspective of Christianity and Islam, which is the point that you're arguing from. When the consequence is eternal damnation and eternal torture, then the absence of evidence has a real world application. So the fact is that we have to take these consequences into account. If God actually does have all these motives that you state, well then he is actively sending people who otherwise would have come to know him or would have come to accept his existence to hell. Therefore, this makes either God non-caring or a straight-up bastard, because he is not providing the evidence. We can't find the evidence. We look for it. As has been pointed out, we've been looking for it for a long time, and we can't find it. If there were no consequences, well, then no problem. And God is purposefully not giving us the evidence that we are looking for to make us believers, and therefore damning us to hell. So basically, to summarize my point, if you are stating that absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, that's just fine. However, when the consequence of not finding the evidence and therefore refraining from belief is eternal damnation, then evidence is all that matters. Thank you, Veritas. Thanks everybody else for watching, and I'll see you around.